First officer, present himself.
Mr. Officer, Nahayala, Banyawada, Banyashala.
Nahayala, Banyawada, Banyashala.
Layashala.
Layashala. Majum, which means to stand. Point your heart to dumb. Turn to face the east.
It's the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Kodash.
Kodash.
Haya.
Haya.
Shemka.
Shemka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malak Wapka.
Malak Wapka.
Dawa'a.
Dawa'a.
Ratzaika.
Ratzaika.
Haya.
Haya.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Baratza.
Baratza.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Haya.
Haya.
Hashemayim.
Hashemayim.
Natalanawa.
Thundernawa.
Lakam.
Come.
Kal.
Kal.
Yawam.
Wam.
Wasalakanawa.
Wasalaknawa.
Kabawafnawa.
Kabawafnawa.
Kasalaknawa.
Kasalaknawa.
Kabawafinawa.
Kabawafnawa.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Kabayanawa.
Kabasayna.
Banasaywan.
Banasaywan.
Abba.
Abba.
Hawashaynawa.
Hawashaynawa.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Rai.
Rai.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Laka.
Laka.
Hamalakwa.
Hamalakwa.
Waha'ala.
Waha'ala.
Watapara.
Waha'ala.
Lai Walamyam.
Lai Walamyam.
Aman.
Aman. Like in English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh,
Thy
kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. Give us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. Lead us not. Into temptation. But deliver us. From evil. Thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
It's the Hakak, the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Yahushai. Baruch Kusha. Natananawa. Hakak. Larpa'ah. Kamaka'ala. Kamarawa. Hakak. Latahar. Hamatazarayim. Hakak. Lahakwium. Hamathium. Hakak. Arukarawa. Hatama'ala. Lagarashan. Ba'ashem. Yahushai. Tawada.
Amen. In English, Yahweh.
In
the name of Yahushai. Please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the leper. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it.
This the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Why
Yahushai?
Why Malaka'ala?
Why Malakiah?
Why Alahayim?
Why Alahayim?
Matazawayah. Alawap Yahana.
Alawapyam.
Alawapyam. Asaranya.
Akwatazanya.
Akayanyam. Why Hakwapyam. Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Yahushai. Tawada.
Amen. In English, bless you, Yahweh. And Yahushai. And Michael. And the angels. Commander Junior Hana. The generals. The captains. The officers. the troopers, and the sisters, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it.
This Psalm 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Baharium, Mayan, Yaba'ah, Izari, Ma'an, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Ma'aratza, Ayatan, Lamawat, Magalka, Ayanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala, Wala'ah, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Aliyad, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Hashemad, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarab, Walayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makarad, Yashamar, Napaska, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'anka, Wabawaka, Ma'aita,
Wa'aida. In English. I will lift up my eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. The Lord shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out. And thy coming in. From this time forth. And forevermore.
It's Psalm 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, Al-Damalaka, Al-Takaras,
Al-Tashaqua,
Al, Kayab,
Hana,
Awayab
Yaka,
Yahama, Yawan, Ra'ash, Alamaka, Ya'ara Sawada, Wayata, Ya'aitazawa, Al-Tazabawanka, Amara, Lakawa, Wanakakidam, Magalia, Wala'ah, Yazakar, Sham Yasha'ala, Iwata, Kaya, Nawa'aitazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Aliyaka, Baryat, Yakaratwa, Aliyah, Aliyah, Adawam, Wayashamai, Allah, Yam, Mawa'aba, Wahagayam, Gabal, Wa'aimawan, Wa'aimalak, Halashah, I'm Yeshabia. Tazawar, Gamashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Zarawai, Labanya, Lawat, Salah, Aisha, Laham, Kamadian, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Hayawa, Gaman, La'adama, Shayatamwa, Nada, Yabmawa, Kairab, Wakaza'aba, Wakaza'ab, Mana'ai, Kal, Nasaya Kamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Nayarasha, Lanawa, Nawa, Alahayam, Shaya, Kamwa, Kagagala, Kakwash, Lapanya, Rawaka, Ka'ash, Daba Ira, Wa, Kala'aba, Talahat, Hariyam, Khan, Daradatma, Wasa Irika, Wabasa, Wapafka, Daba Halam, Mala'ah, Panyaham, Palawan, Waya, Lakwashwa, Shamka, Yahweh, Yabashwa, Waya, Balawa, Aliyai, Waya, Kaparwa, Waya, Abadwa, Waya, Dawa, Kaya, Shamka, Yahweh, Labarka, Aliyawan, Al-Kalaratiza.
In the English, Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
Be not still, O God.
Be not still, O God.
For lo, thy enemies make a tumult.
Thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee,
have
lifted up their head.
They
have taken crafty counsel. Against thy people. And consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said. Come and let us cut them off. From being a nation. That the name of Israel. May be no more remembered. For they have consulted together. With one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites of Moab, and Hagarenes, Gebal, and Ammon, and Amalek, and the Philistines, like with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asher also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Selah. Do unto them. As unto the Midianites. As to Sisera. As to Jabin. As the brook of Kishon. Which perished at Endor. They become as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a red. And like Ze'ed. Yea. All their princes as Zabah. And as Zamunah. Who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God, in possession. Oh my God, make them like a wheel, as a stubble before the wind, as a fire burneth the wood, and as a flame setteth the mountains on fire, so persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid. It's like, with thy storm, fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Lord, let them be confounded, and troubled, forever. Yea, let them be put to shame, and perish, that men may know, that thou, whose name alone, is Yahweh, art the Most High, over all the earth. So, Shabia, you may be seated. Picking up where we left off last week, 2 Kings chapter 23, starting at verse 14. Starting at verse 14.
It's the book of 2 Kings, chapter 23, starting at verse 14 in the Hebrew. Washabah. Ha matazaba wa. Waya karath. Ha asharyam. Waya malak. Salaki waya mala'ah. Makwa namam. Salaki makwa wamam. I tazama mawaf. Aram or Salaki Adam. Verse 15. Ragam or Salaki Wagam. Hamazabak. Ashar. Babayath, Habama, Ashar, Aisha, Yarabai, Ban, Nabat, Ashar, Haka Sayah, Yasha'ala, Gam, Hama Zabak, Ha wa'a, ha bama'a, Natataza'a, Waya Shara, Haba Ma'a, Hadak, La'ai Para, Wa Shara, Ashara, Salaki Ashara, verse 16, Waya Paza, Ya Asher Yahweh, Waya Ra'ah, Hakwa Barayam, Ashar, Sham, Bahar, Waya Shalak, Waya Kukwak, Ha'ai Taza Mawath, Man, Hakwa Barayam, Waya Sharat, Ha Mazabak, Waya Sa Salaki Waya Sa Ma'ahawa, Kadabar, Yahweh, Ashar, Para'ah, Wayata, Salaki, Wayata, Wayata, Ma'ala, Mahawa. Kadabar, Yahweh, Ashar, Kadabar, oh yeah, Salaki. Waya Tama, Ahawa, Kadabar, Yahweh, Ashar, Para'ah, Ayash, Ha Alahayam, Ashar, Para'ah, Ha Debarium, Ha Allah, verse 17, Waya Amar, Ma'ah, Hataza Yawan, Halad, so I get Halazah, Ashar, Anya, Ra'ah, Waya Amarwa, Aliyawa, Anashia, Ha'ayara, so I get Ha'ayara, Hakwabar, Ayash, Ha Alahayam, Ashar, Ba'a, Maya Hawa, Slagi Maya Hawada, Waya Kora'ah, Ha Debarium, Ha Allah, Ashar, Aishayah, Ha Mazabak, Bayath, verse 18, Waya Mar, Hanaya Nayakawa, Lawa, Ayash, Yanai, I to the Matayawa, Waya Malasawa, Malatawa, I to the Matayawa, I to the Mawath, Hana Salagi Ha Nabaya, Ashar, Ba'a, Marsha, Marawa, verse 19, Wagam, Kau, Bataya, Haba, Mawath, Ashar, Baraya, Shamarawan, Ashar, Aishawa, Malakia, Yasha'ala, La Kakayas, Kakayasa, Hasayar, Ya Ashaya Hawa, Waya Aish, Salagi Waya Aisha, Laham, Kakao, Hama Ma'aishayam, Ashar, Aisha, Babiyath, verse 20, Waya Zabat, Ka, Kahania, Ha Bamawath, Ashar, Sham, Av, Hamaz, Bakawath, Waya Sharat, Az, Aitaza Mawath, Adam, Ila Yaham, Waya Shab, Yahweh Shalom. That's 7 verses in the Hebrew you just ran through. Transliterated it to the ancient Hebrew. And now we're going to read the same 7 verses in the English. And then we're going to break it down line upon line so you can understand it. The book of 2 Kings, chapter 23, starting at verse 14. And he brake in pieces the images and cut down the groves and filled their places with the bones of men. Verse 15. Moreover, the altar that was at Bethel, and high in the high place which Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin, had made, both that altar in the high place he brake down and burnt the high place and stamped it small to powder and burnt the grove. Verse 16. And as Josiah turned himself, he spied the sepulchres that were there in the mount, and sent and took the bones out of the sepulchres and burnt them upon the altar and polluted it, according to the word of the Lord, which the man of God proclaimed, who proclaimed these words. Verse 17. Then he said, what title is that I see? And the men of the city told him, it is the sepulchre of the man of God, which came from Judah, and proclaimed these things that thou hast done against the altar of Bethel. Verse 18. And he said, let him alone, let no man move his bones, so that I let his bones alone with the bones of the prophet that came out of Samaria. Verse 19. And all the houses also of the high places that were in the cities of Samaria, which the kings of Israel had made to provoke the Lord to anger, Josiah took away, and did to them according to all the acts that he had done to Bethel. Verse 20. And he slew all the priests of the high places that were there upon the altars, and burned men's bones upon them, and returned to Jerusalem.
Now, just a quick recap. What previously happened is Josiah, who is now ruling, of course, though. How long has he been in rulership for? 4 years? He's only been in rulership for probably about 4 years, give or take. But Josiah, you know what I'm saying, in his reign of office, his reign of leadership, he started to uncover and see, you know, what had been done prior to, of course. And Josiah was looking to do what was righteous and follow after the Most High, of course. So here we go. He finds the book, right, the records, and see what we are supposed to be doing versus how we have been conducting and carrying ourselves. He orders the breaches to be repaired, of course, all throughout, and starts to tear down, you know what I'm saying, the groves and destroy, you know what I'm saying, all of the what should not be. And what we're reading here is a continuation of that, starting at verse 14. Go ahead.
Verse 14. And he brake in pieces the images, and cut down the groves, and filled their places with the bones of men.
Now, of course, you know what I'm saying, what was going on is you had the other nations, of course, that had all types of images, their gods, their rulers, the what did you say? Idolatry. You know what I'm saying? The idols, of course, not the adultery, the idolatry. You know what I'm saying? The scripture says for us not to let our children pass through fire. I think, didn't it say that in this a little bit further up? Mm-hmm. For us not to let our children pass through fire. So we had to tear it down. We had to utterly destroy it. That's what Josiah did. He ordered this, of course, though, for all the nations, not just one, for all of it. If we go back up to just for a brief, you know what I'm saying, King Solomon had, you know, many children, unfortunately, with the other nations. And they started to take on the practices of their mothers. You understand? The culture of their mothers. Much of what we're doing today. You understand? we want to go out there and say, oh, I want to be a politician. We go out there, you know, and Kamala, what's so sad is Kamala Harris was saying that she supports sex workers. She supports sex workers. What does that mean? That means that there's going to be many people that before they go back out on the streets, they'll get incarcerated, and then they're going to, we'll take some time off, you know, if you donate your ovaries, donate your eggs. I think they knock off like 30 days for, you know, it's so sad. It's so sad. Now you can go out there and not worry about what? Having the more children. You don't have to worry about the responsibility. So that's what was going on. We started taking after the other nations. They had the red light district, of course, going on. And Josiah was just like, nah, this will not continue. Tear down the altars, tear down the groves, the images that they have put up in places, cut them all down, destroy it, and do what?
And fill their places with the bones of men.
And fill the places with the bones of men, man. Well, why is that? Why is that relevant or even important? What does it matter, you know, saying that, you know, these images are torn down? Well, what comes to mind when you see that? If you walk into a building, of course, and all you saw was bones, what comes to your mind? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Like, a lot of questions, mainly fear.
That's right. It's like a warning, ain't it? It's like a warning. It's like here lies the bones of, and they're unburied on top of that. You know how it usually goes? Well, let's at least, you know what I'm saying, honor the dead and bury the bones. Let's bury them. Let's give them the proper burial. No, you see the bones just laying out for whomever. For the birds, the carcasses, you know what I'm saying, to get chewed upon, whatever else. It's a warning. That comes as a warning. I walk in and I see danger. Well, what's the symbol that they have, you know what I'm saying, nowadays for toxic? Isn't it usually a skull with bones crossed? That's danger. Warning.
Go ahead. Verse 15. Moreover, the altar that was at Bethel in the high places was Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin.
He did what?
Who made Israel to sin.
He did what?
Who made Israel to sin.
He didn't bring us into a glorious, you know what I'm saying, future. I came down the block, of course, though, and, you know, I saw good old, you know what I'm saying, Sharif, you know what I'm saying, is it Sharif? No, what's the brother name? The brother, not Sharif. Who's the one that's the politician that was running for mayor? The one that got caught out, you know what I'm saying, going against, what's his name? Ben Walsh. Ben Walsh.
Damn,
it said,
it's like I got him like a Muslim name, right?
Right. Khalid Bey.
Khalid Bey.
God, I saw Khalid Bey outside. I said, good night. I said, don't you work for the county now? It allows you to work for the county. You know what? Unfortunately, you know, you have leaders, you know what I'm saying, like Khalid Bey. There's nothing against the brother personally. I don't have any qualms with him, of course. But nonetheless, though, just like Nabat, right? They did things that led our people to what? Sin. To follow after other gods, to worship, you know what I'm saying, others than the Most High. And that's what we have to put a stop to. Everything that causes our people to go astray, that allows our daughters to go out there and whore themselves, that allows our sons to go out there and push poison upon one another, pick up, you know what I'm saying, weapons and make everybody unalived. You got to be tired by now. How many nephews and nieces have you lost? How many cousins, distant relatives, you know what I'm saying, have you lost? Over in Rochester, they had a Glorilla concert. They thought they heard gunshots. They was in fear for their lives. Obviously, you know what I'm saying, it was warranted. One sister died. 2 found themselves in the hospital. For fear of what? For fear of guns. For fear of violence. Because that's what we're used to. That's the culture. That's the atmosphere, you know what I'm saying, that we have nowadays. But they say Cardi B might have caused her own, you know what I'm saying, heartache. Right? Cardi B said, I'm hot. Throw me some water. That's what she said, I'm hot. Throw me some water. So what she do? She threw her some water. She threw her some water. She thought she was going to get some praise from Cardi B. Cardi B threw that mic right back at her. You understand? And there was an Edomite that was in the mix that claimed that she got hit. They went straight to the police station. What they say? We don't need the water. Let the roof burn. Let the mother effer burn. Cardi B gave him instructions. Said, God, I'm hot up here. Throw me some water. And the crowd took it literally. I'm going to throw you some water. Ooh, here you go. I think you saw a couple other people, you know what I'm saying, in the crowd, you know, might have thrown some water or bottles of water. But we cause our own, you know what I'm saying, heartaches. We cause our own, you know what I'm saying, destructions. Because we start to follow after other nations. We follow after other gods. And of course, as Nabat did, you know, our leaders today, you know what I'm saying, are causing us to what? To stray, to sin. Keep going.
Had made both that altar and the high places he brake down, and burnt the high place, and stamped it small to powder, and burnt the grove.
He did what?
And burnt the grove.
And burnt the grove. We gotta tear this down. When you see a place that has caught fire, what do? Do you dwell in those places? Do you congregate? Or do you stay away? It's a hazard, ain't it? What does the rulers of Syracuse do here? You see all these houses that are dangerous? The land bank done came and snatched them up, right? You owe money on your taxes, or whatever. And they put a sign up and they board it up. So now you know what? It's not in good conditions. There's some work that needs to get done. Not a little bit either, a whole lot. Tens and 20s, thousands of dollars that has to go into it to repair it and build it back up, right? Well, Josiah made sure that the altar was burned, the groves were burned, and stumped into ash. There was no structure left. It was burned down. Keep going.
Verse 16. And as Josiah turned himself, he spied the sepulchres that were there in the mount, and sent and took the bones out of the sepulchres, and burnt them upon the altar, and polluted it, according to the word of the Lord.
He did what?
He burnt them, or he took the bones out of the sepulchres, and burnt them upon the altar, and polluted it.
He burnt them upon the altar, man. He followed the instructions that were given, man. He followed the instructions that we were supposed to do. We out here defiling our altar, of course. We should be doing what? Burning down and destroying, you know, these other altars that are up in place. Keep going.
according to the word of the Lord, which the man of God proclaimed, who proclaimed these words.
Right. He didn't do it according to just what he wanted to do. He did it according to, the word of the Most High. Go ahead.
Verse 17. Then he said, what title is that I see? And the men of the city told him, it is the sepulchre of the man of God, which came from Judah, and proclaimed these things that thou hast done against the altar of Bethel.
Now, wait. So amongst, all the sepulchres, there was one sepulchre that stood out, right? One, that had a title, of course, though, and his title was what?
Man of God.
Was a man of God. The instructions, the records that had been left back, that have been left, for them to keep and follow. Keep going.
Verse 18. And he said, let him alone. Let no man move his bones. So they let his bones alone, with the bones of the prophet that came out of Samaria.
Now, here's Salakia. What is one of the things that they do today? What do they do in graveyards, grave sites today? Go ahead.
Pee on the grave, kick stuff over at the grave, take pictures of the grave, they violate the grave site.
They desecrate, the grave, right? No, let us not remember, let us not have any respect. Like, we don't care who that was. That's what happens to them. It's been happening, throughout the ages. You see what just happened here? Let there be what's the relevance of having a tombstone? What's the significance of it? Go ahead.
So you can be remembered.
So you can what?
Be remembered.
So you can remember. Here lies, whoever. Y'all remember that what's the name? They used to be like, what do you want on your tombstone? And they would line them up. They do the firing range. They line them up for the hanging. It's a piece of commercial. But here, there was one tombstone that was told to be left alone. One sepulcher, let it be. That is the bones, of one that did the work of the Most High, of the priest. Keep going.
Verse 19. And all the houses also of the high places that were in the cities of Samaria, which the kings of Israel had made to provoke the Lord to anger, Josiah took away.
He did what?
He took away.
He took away what?
The houses.
He took away all the high places, all the buildings, all the structures, right? All the structures. When you don't be too, like simple with it, right? Like a lot of us be like, well, what are you talking about? The different democratic, the parties, right? You got what? The Democratic House. You got the Republican House. You got the Independents. What else they got? Listen, don't do the politics, so I'm a little rusty with something like that. But you got all Congress, the judicial branch, executive,
legislative.
Right. So when you got all the different, political affiliations, they have their own separate houses. You understand? You can be Democratic, you can be Republican, you can be, what they say, a liberal, right? Whatever it is that you choose to be. But guess what? There's a house that you belong to. Well, they said, we are going to tear down all the houses. We're going to destroy all the houses. So if you was the ones that was worshiping the sun and moon, that was in here, right? Wasn't that in the scripture? It said the sun and the moon. In the stars, right? That was in the scripture. It was like 12 verses up. But that's right here. We read it all throughout. What else was in it? Wasn't it talking about the cross, Christianity, all the other nations? We talking about Ammon. So what do you have to do? He said, take it away, destroy it. Go ahead.
And did to them according to all the acts that he had done in Bethel.
There you go. So if you're wondering, what should we do? Destroy it. Stump it out. Raise it to the ground, right? Raise it, you know what I'm saying, to a pile of ash and dust, that it may be no more. Keep going.
Verse 20. And he slew all the priests.
And he did what?
And he slew all the priests.
Why? Why would you do the priest? It's just the priest, right? The priests was more or less the politicians, aren't they? They were the ruling, governing body, of course, doing the work from the shadows, getting the people to sin, getting the people to turn away. What they got? The House of Cards. What they got? They got the House of Cards. They got all these different whatever. And you see the different agencies. You see the different divisions that's going on. How they go and plot against one another. You know, one of the biggest ones that we had was what's the one with Olivia? What's her name? That was you know, having sex with the president. The Edomite. She was, you know, saying a side piece for the president. No. It was like and all the sisters loved it. It was like, see the power that she got. It was like a living mutant or something like that. It's not real. It's just a show, TV show. But the sisters went crazy about it. And then they came out with another version, which was called what's the woman king lady name? Viola Davis. They had her, you know what I'm saying, how to get away with murder, right? Come on now. Keep going.
And he slew all the priests of the high places that were there upon the altars, and burned men's bones upon them, and returned to Jerusalem.
There you go. So what is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen when Yahushua, you know what I'm saying, descends? What do you expect? There shall be peace. I don't know. I think it might have something to do with what we're reading right now. All the chaos, right? All the dissent that's going on in society. What's going to happen? What was the orders given before? To raise it to the ground, to stump it out. There's a saying, you know, there's this song that says that Babylon is falling to rise no more. To rise no more. Babylon, you know what I'm saying, is this whorehouse that we live into today, this society that brings all the different nations together. Just as it happened before with King Solomon. It seems as if everything has been repeated, hasn't it? I mean, what's happening again? All the nations coming together. What happened after that? Great divide. Then there was what? The righteousness. So what do you think is going to happen right now? As you see, all the nations are what? They're looking to come to their own. Russia, China, Taiwan, Ukraine. It goes on and on.
Like you got me there? Like you said, nothing new under the sun. We just keep going, keep coming back around, keep coming back. It's up to us to recognize the pattern. Like you said, when Yahweh returns, it's going to be the same thing. Them high places getting brought down. Because then they can't stand while Yahweh is in rulership. When he said every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess, it's not just you bowing and then you going back to the House of Representatives and voting. Nah, them places are going to be destroyed. They have to give up their power. Them high places where people, we believe, especially us, black people, we believe that it's power in voting, it's power in politics. Yahweh coming to take that down, just like Josiah. And to let you know how righteous and how vicious it was. They kept saying about the bones and putting in his bones. That's just they saying death. He made sure they was dead afterward.
They were unalive.
Yeah, unalive. And that's kind of like Isaiah chapter 60, when Yahweh shall return, and they said, who's that we see coming from Edom, whose garments dipped in blood? And he said, I treaded the winepress alone. Like he got all this blood on him, because this is what men of the Lord do. Like they tricked us thinking that we supposed to be singing and dancing and humming and smacking tambourines in the church. This is what men of God are supposed to do. We're supposed to tear down their high places and slay all the priests. No, we're not promoting. We're not promoting violence. We just get put in a perspective, make you think about the men of God in the Bible. We all think of them and see collars on their necks and think that they're like mainstream Christianity when it's really not. These guys wasn't playing no games. Nehemiah said, "Listen, I'll catch y'all over here again. I'm putting hands on you." He grabbed one girl by her wig and flung her somewhere. And Mosiah said, he's righteous. We got to take another little perspective on what we think the men of the Lord is and how they wasn't playing. He wasn't playing. He went to the graves of the old priests that they've been dead, but they used to teach all the sin. Dig them up. Burnt their bones. Them burnt their ashes everywhere. You know how black people is. When you violate the dead, it ain't no worser thing you can do than violate the dead. They go by the rapper 6ix9ine. He go by King Von gravesite, pee all over it, and the world is the end of the world. No, King Von. They go to the mural where he at, took pictures in front of it. You know what I'm saying? They're like, no, and it's like it's just one of those acts of violence or non-violence because the person already dead that our people see, and it creates a reaction. So just imagine a reaction our people seeing all the politicians' bones burnt, all these entertainers, their bones burnt, all these bloggers and people who making money off of our downfall, all their bodies burnt. We'll probably get our act together after that.
So like, and the one thing when it comes down to it as well too, it's real simple, right? When you look at what they say, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Our bodies, you know what I'm saying, go back to the earth. From dust we came, and from dust shall we return. We get buried, of course, and what happens? You know, the little grubs and whatever else they'll come and they eat. You know, our bodies break down and they eat whatever else. But when you take and you burn that body, you know, it's to rise no more. That's different. If Lazarus' body was burnt, and Yahushua said, Rise, Lazarus. He said, to what? He said, I have nobody to return to. You understand? Salakia. I know I'm just going straight. And of course, if it need be, it would have been possible. But that body, I'm saying, that has been burned. Lazarus ain't rising again. Hey, it's too late, man. No, it ain't too late. Lazarus just sleep. Bro, there ain't no breath coming out of his body. What are you talking about? He ain't got no heartbeat. No thump. Everything is gone. So Yahushua says, rise. He was specific in saying Lazarus. Otherwise, the entire, all the bodies would have rose up. You understand? And that's something for us to recognize and realize. That they burned the bodies. They burned the bones. Like, it's one thing, you do self-defense, right? You shoot a person one time. Oh, it was a mistake. Boom. Twice. Whatever. But you have those that have went and stabbed somebody 50-something times. That's a bit excessive. You can't be in the rage. You know what I'm saying? Doing 1,000 stabs. He said, listen, I'm going to make sure every molecule, every atom is stumped out. That's something. So with that, we're going to conclude the class. Mind you, bro, you out the dome, turn to face the east.
It's the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malak Wavka. Kaba'ah. Ratzazaika. Hayah. Aisha. Ba'aratza. Kawa. Hayah. Bashemayim. Natan Lanawa. Nakam. Kab. Yuam. Wasalak Lanawa. Kabawaf Nawa. Hasalak Nawa. Kabawafi Nawa. Wala'ah. Kabayah Nawa. Banasayawam. Abba. Awashai Nawa. Mayan. Rai. Kaya. Lokah. Malakwa. Wa'ala. Watapara. Lai Walamya. Amen.
In English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Give us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. Lead us not to temptation. Deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom. The power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. Amen. So, one courteous salute to the men of Israel. Sisters may be seated. Men of Israel, Majid, Mashibat, Majid, Ra, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakathon. That's the time. So, one courteous salute to the sisters. Elijah, of Israel, my Shabbat, Micah, Barak,
Yahweh Shema Alatham Ba'Shem Yahushai.
it's my time. Dismissed. Anyone wants anointed